Welcome. Welcome to the Build Show. Hopefully I didn't just... Oh yeah. There we go. Nice. You know. We're gonna skip some songs apparently. Let's get back on track. Here we go. Welcome back to the Build Show. I'm your host, Ben Estrino, in a plain white tee. Here at the Empower Gaming Studio to build another awesome PC. Yeah? That is not the right build. That was Tony's build. This is not an Intel build. Maybe I should fix that. Do you guys want me to fix that? I should probably fix that. I forgot to fix that. I'm gone for one weekend, and I can't figure out how to start my stream anymore. I knew something was going to be messed up. Ah, yes, the Intel build. Yep, that was the last build we did. Ant-Man, first in the chat over on YouTube. Welcome back to the Build Show. Tat2 Tuna says last. Welcome back to the Build Show. Helican, welcome back to the Build Show. And Ant-Man, aim 4 for the win. It is. We're doing an aim 4 build. Tat, hope you had a great Father's Day, Ben. Ate good, I assume. Yes. I hope you also, anybody here that is also a dad other than Tat and myself that I know for sure, had an excellent Father's Day weekend and Father's Day. We had, my brother-in-law actually cooked up some really good steaks for us. So we had steak. And then my mom had cooked some, grilled some rib. So we had steak and ribs and everything else that goes with it. Sadie, welcome back to the Build Show. Welcome back. Porkerslar, yes, that build is not correct. I'll fix it. I gotta walk over to my computer and type, so that means I have to walk away from the screen here for just a moment. I'll switch the position here, and then we can go through the build out, and then I'll go fix that for everybody, because I know other folks are going to join and use the ! build command, and then read the wrong stat, or the wrong specs. So we'll go through the build out real quick here, and then we will, I'll go fix that real quick. It should take like 2 seconds. All right, so this is Nick's build. Build number 65. This is a custom build, so Nick had reached out to me and had asked, hey, I've got about $1,000 and I want a decent build that can do this, this, and this, which is mostly gaming. I think it was Baldur's Gate 3 is mostly what Nick wanted to do. So this is what we put together in that $1,000 budget, along with, of course, the case. So the 5700X is actually what was supposed to be used, and instead we did get Nick the 5800 XT. Was the same price. So there's not a huge difference in performance. I think it's about a 6% difference between the 5700X and the 5800X. And this CPU actually uses more power if you compare the two. So it is a warmer CPU, but I'm not too worried about that because we did select the Peerless Assassin 120 SE addressable RGB for cooling or keeping the CPU cool. So I'm not too worried about that. Along with the Peerless Assassin, which has got the 6 heat pipes and the 2 120mm PWM addressable RGB fans, we are also adding 32 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 memory by Silicon Power and a 2 terabyte MP44 by Team Group for its storage. We're going to be putting that on a B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. Yes, I already took a look at it. I opened up and looked. And then we also are going to be using, for the graphics card, a PowerColor Fighter RX 7600 by AMD. So it's a all AMD build. It's going to run super nice. And then we're going to power the system with a Sagittep 650 watt 80 plus. The case we're going to be using is an Okeanis Micro ATX case. It's the Cypress 3. So I think I built in this once or twice maybe before. It's a really nice, small, compact case that features the 3 addressable RGB fans with the front mesh and an additional rear fan as well. So it's a really nice value for the case. Hey, Mike, welcome back to the Build Show. Sadie, Mike and everyone, hello. Did you hear about the 5500X 3D? I think that's, yes, I did hear about it. And if it is below, I'd say below $170, it'll make sense. But if it's above that, it's not really going to make sense. And I'm still just going to tell everybody, unless you're on an AIM-4 platform, if you're starting out a new build and you're looking for that price point of CPU, which is like $200 plus, then you just go AIM-5. But if you're trying to keep your CPU budget below $150, AIM-4 is going to give you some really good value. And that's where we were at with this build. Still, I am... What's up, Anarchist? Welcome to the Build Show. Ink, welcome to the Build Show. Welcome back to the Build Show. Yes, I know, I still haven't corrected yet. Porgerslur, I gotta go over there and actually physically type it at the desk. So I'll go fix this really quick. The exclamation point build command is incorrect, so let me go fix that for you. And those who are going to join us later, so then it is accurate. So give me like 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes. Okay, we're back, right? And the exclamation point build command has now been updated to the correct build. I apologize. I will make sure I do that for the next one. Update it before I start the stream. Helican, Any opinions, Ben, or chat on Asia Horse case fans? Been eyeballing this because I can't justify spending $500 on Lian Li fans. I need 11. So yes, I've actually used many Asian Horse options, specifically similar to the, what are they? Similar to the Lian Li fans. So they look very similar to them. They have options for both reversed and regular blades. They are good. I would say they are good, but definitely the quality and the control of the RGB is not going to be anywhere near Lian Li, if that's what you're comparing to. So yes, they're good. They're good. The control of the RGB is going to be limited to your RGB controller, which is generally your motherboard. So just set that expectation. The quality of the fan and how much air they move, they're pretty good. They're not, you know, junk fans. They're you know, decent fans that'll move some air. Length of life, I haven't been able to see how long they last, because I've recently used them within the last 6 months, and so far they've been good for the last 6 months. That's about all I can tell you for quality wise and bearing quality of life. So I would set the expectation that they'd last about 2 years, maybe 3. So for the price, that is a pretty good. They're pretty good. It's a pretty good price for what you get. Asia Horse fans are awesome, in my opinion. Yes, they're good. Skyline is a good game. Yeah, Skyline's pretty good. Haven't actually played it myself, but I've seen it. Ben, any idea why my webpage reset randomly? Never had this issue before. No, unless you have a add-on on your web browser that's causing it, or you could have maybe a stuck refresh key on your keyboard. But I would check the add-ons in your web browser, and if you can't find any, maybe try resetting your web browser to factory settings. Of course, that will wipe anything that you have saved in your web browser, such as passwords and things like that. So just keep that in mind if you do that. That didn't help. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look at it at that point. Maybe try unplugging your keyboard and see if the keyboard's doing it. Sadie, Ant-Man, 5800X 3D, 32 gigs, 3200 deep cool, 3060, 3080 for the Win 3, 10 gigabytes. How about yours? Used to play Doom and City Skylines a lot. Nice. I appreciate it. I've heard good reviews on them. It's Ray. Are you using AMD? Mike, 30 bucks for 3, not a bad deal. Lian Li, 30 bucks for 1. 30 plus, yeah, that's correct. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. We had a late start, but we're still starting. We're going to get this build going. We already went through the parts, but the exclamation point build command is up to date now. So I'm going to go ahead and get these parts moved out of the way, which is just the power supply and the graphics card, and we're going to get started on the build itself. So without further ado, here we go. Ben, did you hear the news that AMD is releasing another AM4 CPU? Yes. Yes, I just don't know the price on it yet. That's what I'm most curious about it. If it's sub 175 or 150, it's going to be a great CPU to maybe look at. And if it supports PCIe 4.0, which I assume it will, then it would be a great CPU, a great option. But if it's above 200, then it's just a money grab for AMD. In my opinion, AM4, if your CPU is over, if you're building a brand new PC and your CPU is an AM4 CPU and it's over $200, you should be looking at AM5, not AM4. So because really the only reason why we're looking at AM4 is for the value, the cost. That's why we're going to AM4. So if our CPU is over $200, we may as well just look at AIM-5 and look at Micro Center's bundle deals to get on an AIM-5 platform. So I'm hoping the CPU is under 200. 150 would be a good price for that CPU. Well, let's get started with this build. We're going to get started with the motherboard. Hey, Frailer, welcome back to the build show. I need the 5500X3D. Yes, that would be... It would be good for upgrades on the AIM-4 platform as well. Especially if it's under 200. That would be an excellent position for that CPU. We could get all zoomed in here. Ben, I wish I could, but I'm hella broke. LOL. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Ooh, I haven't had that issue with Intel. I'm just picking at Ben. Has nothing to do with that. Roy's always looking for something that's gone wrong and relate it to AMD. Because he's a Intel boy. Might be something with the keyboard. Or it's something with this motherboard. Well, I would try, like I said, try unplugging the keyboard and keep the web page open. If it's not refreshing, then maybe it's something to do with the keyboard. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I have no idea. How do I get over 60 FPS in PS2 games, or is PS2 locked to 60 FPS? Most consoles lock the frames. So I don't know if PS2 would allow anything higher than that. AMD is killing Intel right now, I know. When it comes to performance and sales, AMD's there, but I mean, I'm really hoping Intel does something great this next go, because the Ultra series was just not cool. It was not good. Not a good turnout for them. So, the competition is important. We can't just let, you know, for example, NVIDIA run the show and AMD run the show when it comes to CPU and GPUs. When will the sound alerts be back? They should be back. You just have to spend money on them. Yeah, I know. As soon as they got a flavor of the fame, aka AMD, they're like, ooh, now we could be like NVIDIA. They entered the cool club. And now they're too cool for everybody. Oh well. I mean, what are we gonna do? We can go stand outside of AMD's headquarters and riot, I guess. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. NVIDIA just announced they are focusing more on AI and business. Oh, that's not news. That's been happening for the last 5 years. That's not anything new. All right, so for Nick's build, we're going to go ahead and start with the 5800X3D. For those of you who are not aware, this particular CPU boxed version comes with a Wraith Prism out of the box, which is a decent cooler. We're not going to be using that cooler today, but that does come with it. If you were looking for a simple cooler to start out with, you could use this to start and then upgrade it later. But of course, we're not using this. We're going to be using the Peerless Assassin, which is much better than this guy. And we're going to go ahead and drop our 5800 XT in. Ryzen 7 5800 XT. Whatever happened to the GPU Intel released? I saw one video about it and never heard anything of it again. The B580 is still an excellent 1440p card by Intel, but they are very, very difficult to get at a good price. So it makes sense to go after that card when it's about $250, $280, but it's really hard to find at that price point. So if you can't get it at that price, then you're better off just going with AMD or NVIDIA. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking at the GPUs when it comes to the Intel GPU. I wouldn't buy it unless it was in that price point. I want a 7900 XT or XTX. Yeah, those are good cards still. What's a realistic 4K build for 2500? I'll be honest, you probably won't have true 4K performance at $2,500. Maybe more in the 3,000 range. You could probably squeeze it for 2,500, but you're going to be cutting corners. Like, for example, the storage will be a terabyte SSD to start out with, which is okay. But when I build a PC at that price point, I kind of balance everything out, unless we're focused more on one thing. When it's a custom build and somebody says, hey, I want primarily for this, then I'll focus on that, you know. But everything else, any other time, I try to balance it out. But 2500, I would try to go 2 terabytes on a fast Gen 4 SSD, at least 32 gigs, if not more, on the RAM. A nice liquid cooler like an Arctic Liquid Freezer 3. And you'd be at a 9800 X3D processor at that point with AM5. So you're using DDR5. 6000 CL30 is what I would try to get, or try to get it down to CL28 if you can with the budget. And then probably an 850 to 1000 watt power supply at that price point. And then the GPU, you'd go, you'd try to target like a 5080 or a 5070 Ti at that price point. They just announced they are making a new Battle Mage card. Yes. Yeah, they are bringing out or looking to release another Battle Mage card. 4K is hard on almost all PCs, yeah. It's pretty much, you're going to be spending like $3,000 or more minimum to get that 4K. Yeah, it's just, you need a 5080 at least to, you know, get 60, 80 frames per second in 4K to really enjoy it. If not, you're going to be setting all your settings on low, but getting the 4K resolution high, and it's the point of going to 4K is to really enjoy it. So usually if somebody comes to me and they say I want 4K and my budget's like 2500, I'll just tell them, hey, let's just build a badass 1440p rig, set it up so that you can upgrade to get to 4K later. And then usually that's what we end up doing. Is the B770 coming possible? I don't know. Maybe? B590 question mark? I actually don't know enough information about it to talk about the new Intel card. I haven't heard or read too much about it other than it was rumored that there was going to be another Intel card. All right, let's go ahead and get the SSD installed under the heat spreader here. We have a 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD by Team Group. It's the MP44. It's a super fast, solid Gen 4 SSD. pairing with the i3? Probably could. I mean, the i3 is, the 14100F is actually a pretty good CPU when you compare it to other things. All you're doing is gaming. The i3 can actually handle it. But if your plan is to do more than just gaming, then it might be, you might need something a little bigger. All right, so next up, we're gonna go ahead and get our Peerless Assassin 120 SE addressable RGB out, which is a 6 heat pipe tower air cooler by Thermalright. Features two 120 millimeter PWM addressable RGB fans as well. Carter, Jesse, Michael, thank you for the likes, and Michael, also thank you for the share over there on Facebook. Much appreciated. Hey, what's up, Project? The GOAT for budget gaming builds, AIM-4? Yes. AIM-4 is the go-to. Hey, Carol. Thank you for the like over there on Facebook. My grandma. I'm probably never going to see an AM5 system ever. I wouldn't say that. Seeing as how AM4 stuck around as long as it has, I have a weird suspicion that AM5 in, 5 years will be the new AM4. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and remove the stock brackets off the socket here. We have some Thermalright brackets to hook up. How do you like the 9060 XT? We're actually going to be building a 9060 XT rig here soon. So within the next week, I'd say we're gonna be doing a 9060 XT 16 gigabyte card. At all the timing and release times of the hardware that have made prices what they are. Yeah. Then we're also going to be building a 5060 Ti 16 gig rig as well in the next week and a half. That's upcoming as well. We've also got a 5080 rig coming up too. Just waiting on a few more parts to come in. I think that's going to be Wednesday's build. We're going to be streaming quite a bit this week to catch up on some builds. So make sure you stay tuned. Growler, the PS5 plus older C4 or C5 is amazing. Is the B7070 coming possible? I think we already covered that. I think coming possible, meaning I don't know what you mean by coming possible, but I know it's out. but I like the B580 way more than the B770. All right, let's go ahead and mount this bad boy. Maybe I'll win one. Nah. I don't think he'll die on aim 4. I see a lot of people building small Steam OS systems with budget hardware. Yeah, it's kind of like the thought is basically, you know how they do the crap, what's the name of it? The arcade systems on PC that have basically every game there is all the way up to like the PS4. That's basically what it is, but it's for... Really cool idea, actually. Remembered, we might have to run this. All right. Now, this board is ready to go into the case. The market is flooded with PC systems and hardware for sale. I know. It's been really hard moving builds. Not gonna lie. It's been really hard selling pre-built systems lately because of the market. I'm waiting for the new Intel 1700 chips to come out and see how they are. Yes. Those I'm actually excited to see what Intel does with that, because if they can extend that socket for a little more value, then awesome. That would be awesome. Ben, I am gonna call your number on the LinkedIn and tell you that you're my hero. LOL. Okay. You can also look up Empower Gaming Computers on Google. Should be the same number. All right, so this is the Okeanos Cypress 3, which is a micro ATX tower. Nice little design. Got excellent airflow for its size. Very similar to the Montech Air 100, except for it's a little bit smaller and doesn't really support the AIOs on the top. That is the downside. But you do get the addressable RGB controller, which is nice, and the fans are DC. So, and you also have USB 3.0 on your front panel. Nice. It's nice to have more modern feature. I've done a couple of builds in this. I like it if you're going to stay with air cooled. And with this air cooler, the Peerless Assassin, you're pretty much not going to need another cooler for the system. Pretty much set. Gotta figure out this guy, the rest of these. I feel like we're just gonna run it down like this, like so. Then into the blob. All right, go ahead and drop this in there. Gently, of course. No, this is Okeanos. By Okeanos. Yes, the Aqua 7 and Aqua 9 are also really good cases. Excellent cases. That one. Oculus 93, not so good. Aqua 93? What? Aqua 93? 9 through 3? I don't know what you mean there. $95, not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. I do have one more screw I have to put in. I forgot about that. Got a little excited. Got a wee bit excited. Then I just linked it into chat. I'll take a look at it. Jake, what's up, man? What's your opinion on Gen 5 NVMe SSDs, considering one just for future-proofing and for max speed? So if you are video editing and you're doing large files with your video editing, like large video files, that's where I see PCIe Gen 5 SSDs really coming into handy, really helping. Gaming, I mean, not that big of a deal unless you want your download speed to keep up with your read-write speed, or your read-write speed on your drive to keep up with your download speed, which will make the downloads and installs faster. But I mean, is that really that big of a deal? Not really. So for the price, really the only time Gen 5 really makes a major difference is when you're video editing or moving large data or editing large data. So designers, 3D models, things like that, video editing, photo editing, that's where you're really going to see the benefit. Gaming, not so much. But yes, good idea. If you have a decision or a choice between a X670 or an X870, then go with the X870 to future-proof it. So then you have the ability to move to PCIe Gen 5 later on. Some video editing, yeah, nothing crazy, but figuring out why not? Yeah, why not? It'll definitely help game load times for sure. It'll increase them. It definitely will. Gen 5 boards are quite a bit pricey, especially ones that have dual NVMe slots that keep bandwidth. Yeah, those are pricey, yes. But for editing, it might be worth it. Is what I'm saying. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. Hey, what's up, Young Joe? Welcome back to the Build Show. Hurricane Gamer, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. If you don't mind, Anarchist, drop it in the Discord as well. I feel like I did the same thing the last time I was building in this case, trying to get the screw in. Thank you, Aaron, for the like over there on Facebook, as well as Adam. Thank you for the like. It's a really tight squeeze with the cooler there. Trying to get that screw. We got it. Why, extra long Phillips drivers are nice. With a skinny head. Just trying to get all our front panel connectors in here. There we go. Front panel connectors are in. I'm actually going to do something I don't typically do, but I'm going to put the power supply in first. Then I put the case in your PM in Discord. Thank you, Mike. Sweet. Appreciate you. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Let's see here. DM'd the link. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get a power supply in here. We're actually moving pretty quick with this build. But we're going to do the Segitep GN650W, which is a 650 watt 80 plus gold, non-modular, does not feature PCIe 5.0 or the 12 volt high power connector, but it is a 650 watt power supply, so most of those probably won't have it. Good morning, everyone. What's up, Panna? Welcome back to the build show, sir. Ugh. And if anybody is interested in joining the Discord channel, they're more than welcome to drop the exclamation point Discord in the chat, and you'll receive a link to the Discord channel if you are interested. Where a lot of people hang out, have fun, post weird stuff. Some stuff very questionable. But also ask questions and things like that when I'm not live. So it's a good way of getting direct access to me and everybody else in the community as well, which there's a lot of people. It's definitely grown. Thank you guys for dropping the Discord link in the chat. Appreciate you. Here, so it's quickening as I go. Actually over tightened a power supply screw once and it broke. So very easy to do, apparently. Easier than I thought. All right, now we untangle the 24 pin. Right there. Run that one up there where it belongs. And then we need an 8-pin EPS. Like this one. That one up here. And then we'll need one PCIe 8-pin for the GPU. Untangled. There we go. Flip it over. Plug it in. Back, UPS. I need you. This always gets awkward when you're trying to shove your hand down here with a massive cooler. Sometimes, if you have a modular power supply, doing this cable first before you put it in the board in the case is a good idea. Or if you have sleeved cable extensions. We had neither. Now you get to watch me do this. Quite fun. There we are. Now, we could drop a GPU in. Right after we bust our fingers trying to break these off. You really need a heatsink, a Gen 5 SSD. If you are not working the hell out of it, can you get away? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not working crazy on it, then yeah, it's probably fine. Definitely keep an eye on the temps. Probably a good idea to keep an eye on them. But they make, you know, aftermarket heat sinks if you need them, or heat spreaders for SSDs. Here's our RX 7600 by PowerColor. 8 gigabytes, 128-bit PCIe 4.0. The Fighter. This one does have a backplate, FYI. We're actually gonna plug it in, get a zip tie on this. All right, cable management time. Not too bad. Right? I was thinking fans. Pretty easy. The only downside is I crisscrossed here. Don't typically do that, but try to keep it clean. Surprise, not demise. I hope not. You guys wouldn't do anything too crazy to me, would you? Three more fans, lol. We could actually put two more fans, or 4 more fans in this rig. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Would be possible. Do I recommend it? As of right now, not really. Not needed for this build. Thank you for the resub, Mr. Roy. There on the Twitch side. Much appreciated. Ah! Note to self, don't do that. Anarchist, thank you for the sub as well. 2 months. Nice. And Roy, you're on a, you've done it for 5 months. Thank you very much. And you're on a 3-month streak over there on Twitch. That is much appreciated. Do it! Do it. You're welcome. Thank you. Thought I could get away with it. Of course, I found a way to use more ties than I had left. Because it's me. Anger leads to... Anger? Oh, that's a Yoda. I don't know if I could do a good enough Yoda. I'll have to work on it. Too deep. Too froggy. I was thinking of you, Ant-Man, when I just did that. All right. Cheeseburger, you will bring me, yes. That is the Force. All right, so this is build number 65. Ben was here. Very good. Let's try a new tip. There it is. Number 65 in the books. Might have to get a tie in there. Crazy that is. Hey there, big. Much cleaner. Plan is to give her my 12900K and get the new Intel chip when it's released. Hope you're talking about Inc. Mrs. Roy or Mrs. Tat. Wife's PC? Yes, you are. Good, 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 good. That would be the right way to do it. For your sake, for your safety. All right, so plug this in. Let's fire it up. Shall we? Put this one. All right. Go to the side view. Reposition the camera just a little bit. Too much. Too much. Why does it do that? That's probably close enough. You could also pull it back just a little bit. All right. You guys ready for this one? Light up the PC, you will. Light up. I used to do a really good Yoda voice. I haven't worked on it in a long time, though. So I won't even try. You tell him. I tried. Amen. It is Sir, Mrs. I know. Mrs. Tuna has been knighted, by the way. That's why I called her Sir. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. You want to do it? All right, let's do it. There you go. Beautiful build. We've not quite gotten a post yet, but I think it's working on it. Well, hello there. Hello there. Try to do a really good Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. It has posted. It has booted to the BIOS. So we are good to go. There we have it. Nick's build. Number 65 for 2025. Let's hope we get some, this rolls into, like, the next batch of builds, which we do have quite a few builds this week, so we're going to be doing a couple of build streams this week, and then we might even squeeze in a weekend build stream. So there's that. Because just like, you know, anything else, you won't have any orders for like a week and a half, and then all of a sudden one day you'll have 8 orders in one day, and then that's all of a sudden we have to do a bunch of builds all at once. So that's what kind of happened over the weekend and last week. So we've got some orders coming in. Wednesday we're going to be for sure doing a RTX 5080 build Super awesome AMD. I think we're going with the 9950X on that build, and 96, or I think we did 96 gigs of RAM. New site yet, Ben? Should be going live tomorrow. Am I excited for it? No, I'm actually, there's a whole bunch of anxiety with this new website. I have so much anxiety. Anytime something changes, I'm getting old, you know, to the point where I'm like, I don't want to change it. It works right now. Don't touch it. So of course, anything new is going to have some weird issues, and we're going to have to work through them. So tomorrow, the new site should be live. There's going to be a lot of things missing off the new site, though, because there's still things that aren't quite ready. So we're going to go into live with the new site. Going to be pretty basic, and then we're going to build off of that. But the new site is going to be a big change for SEO and marketing, and I think it's going to help really drive some traffic to the website. The speed of the website is way faster than what we currently have. So I'm super... That is the main reason why we changed it. Google ranks your website based off the speed, how long things take to load. And right now we have a terrible rank, and I just cannot figure out what the deal is. So we're moving off of WordPress, and we're going to Shopify, actually, the platform. So that is where the new website's going to live. The little lights aren't twinkling, Clark. You guys should all order a new system to help stress test the site. Yeah, that'd be... I'm sure the site can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it. I'm just kidding. Free cake on me to the persons that order that crashes the system. It's a good win. A nice cake. With frosting that says I crashed Empower's website. Plan. It's glorious. Yeah, okay, Grandpa. Hey, I've got a few gray hairs now. Jury duty made me grow some gray hair. But, yeah, so we should be going live again on this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, next Wednesday, this Wednesday. Which is, the 18th, I believe. So we'll be live again Wednesday doing a RTX 5080 build. And then we should be live... should be Thursday and Friday as well, so it should be a long string of streams upcoming this week, and then we might be able to squeeze one in for the weekend, but no guarantees. It'll probably happen Monday, but if I have the time, I will try to do one on the weekend. I know we haven't done one on the weekend in a while, so yep. So that is the plan for the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow, no stream. And it also depends on if I get all the parts in. That is another problem. I have a large pile of boxes back here to open up and verify who goes what to where, and to see if everything's here, and also not broken, because that could be a thing as well. I just haven't opened the boxes that we've received today, which is a large pile of them. So, could be a thing. So don't be surprised if something gets messed up, or if the schedule gets changed. But we should for sure be building the 5080 build on Wednesday. I have pretty much everything here for it, except for one key part, which is the RTX 5080. That should be here tomorrow. But Nick, your build is built. We just got to finish up the Windows side of things, and BIOS drivers, all that fun stuff. So should have this ready to go at some point tomorrow for you, Nick. And for everybody else, another update on the PC that we built that was donated to the channel. I might have found somebody that it should go to, and it's really nice because they're local. So I'll be able to, it's a kiddo that had a PC, and it was a Dell Optiplex built into a tower with a 10-year-old or 15-year-old i7. So looking forward, I think it's a good match. Looking forward to getting them hooked up. I think that's where it's going to go. Just because I know they need it, or he needs it. And the PC that he brought to me he actually brought it in for service, which is that Dell Optiplex rebuild, which is just garbage. It can't run more than like 2 minutes, and then it's got problems. So I don't know if it's a motherboard or if it's temperatures that's causing the problem. I'm pretty sure it's temperatures, but regardless, the system doesn't meet what he's trying to do anyway. So this would actually be an upgrade from what he had. And I am still going to drop a RX 6600 in there as well, so it'll give him a huge boost in graphics coming from a GTX 1060 3GB graphics card. So that is the update with the donated build that we rebuilt here a couple streams ago. That is what we'll be doing with that one. So, all right, guys. Again, make sure you like. If you haven't already subscribed over on YouTube or followed on Twitch or on Facebook, make sure you do that as well. So that way you can catch our next streams. And if you would like to join the Discord channel, feel free to drop !Discord in the chat. That only works on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. And you'll get a link to our Discord channel, and you can come hang out with us in there. Thank you, Some Giant Idiot. And until then, I'll see you on Wednesday night, starting around 8-ish p.m. Eastern Time, but you all know how I show up, sometimes late like a wizard, but I arrive precisely when I mean to. Great looking build, Ben. Thanks for the sharing. Have a good night. Thank you, Roy. You as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night. Thank you for the follow there, C9? C9 Chef? Chief? Chef? Yeah? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you.